it's the closest thing we're ever going to feel to being injected with the super soldier serum.
Right.
Because you actually feel it like coursing through your body.
Oh, really? Okay.
So Wizards of the Coast took over D&D, 2000? Like they got it in like 97
Okay,
and started.
I thought it was late 90s. Yep.
Yeah, like I think they TSR closed in 97 and then they were sold. And so they took over in that situation. But before that, and this is kind of the reason I bring this up or that it was interesting is because now Wizards of the Coast is doing the Adventures in the Forgotten Realms Magic gathering.
Right.
So it's like all kind of like weirdly connected now how things are going. So back in 1982, Stephen Michael Sechi, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Sechi, and Stephen Cordovano and Vernie Taylor formed a company called Bard Games. Okay. And so they produced their own D&D supplements. And by 86, though, there was like disagreements in the company and it was handed over to Cordovano, who began to work on a new game system and supplements, but then decided, I don't want to do this anymore. And then it reverted back to Sechi.
Okay.
And he took the opportunity to produce a new game that he was interested in called Talislanta. So that would make it by the late 80s, 87 would be the first edition of that. And so they produced that, and it has kind of a crazy history of being published. So originally Bard Games, and then it was bought, and then they tried. So many companies tried to publish it, some successfully, some unsuccessfully. But by the third edition, a little company in the northwest of America called Wizards of the Coast said, "We'll publish your third edition of the game," and that generated the capital that they needed to create their card game, their original card game, Magic the Gathering. So without
Talislanta
third edition, there would be no Magic. I mean, there would maybe it would have been something else, but that game's success generated the popularity. But in a similar way, so there's a weird similarity here. The reason that Wizards of the Coast was able to buy the rights is because Bard Games got into the same situation that TSR did, where they were working with Walden Books. And actually their first and still most successful books that they were publishing were supplements for D&D called based on Atlantis, like the Tales of Atlantis. So their Atlantis series was super popular. They made a huge deal with, they fulfilled a huge order for Walden Books, not understanding that these are bookstores, they will return things that are unsold. So they over-ordered, it didn't sell, they sent them back and basically said, you owe us $20,000. Bard Games said, we don't got that. And so then Wizards of the Coast said, hey, we'll publish your
Talislanta,
which then later they did again with TSR. This was kind of they kind of learned that strategy. Oh, are you guys in trouble because you made a business error? Well, let us buy you up. So the same way that they acquired the rights to Dungeons and Dragons, they acquired the rights to
Talislanta.
Don't make a book deal with Walden Books. Is what I'm hearing.
But those distributions, I mean, those large booksellers, you really have to know what you're dealing with because it's incredible. And I remember that. I remember in the kind of mid late 90s, those just piles of D&D books in the mall bookstores and stuff. It's just like, what is all this garbage? And it was just all damaged, and because they didn't even bother shelving it correctly, just big piles of books, stacks of books on the floor and stuff, and they were just so overwhelmed with that stuff. Of course, they were going to be returning it, and of course, TSR had no ability to pay for that. Yeah. So just a little bit about
Talislanta.
Third edition was their kind of biggest set of rules, had a 344-page rule book, and the timeline and setting were overhauled. 23 different schools of magic, and from aeromancy to wizardry. So lots of magic, very heavily magic-based.
And I got aeromancy, wizardry.
And wizardry.
Magically manipulating wizards?
Yes, exactly. It's the power of...
Watch out, this wand shoots wizards. This guy in a pointy hat just flies out here.
So over 2 years, Wizards of the Coast published 7 books, and that helped them gear up for magic. Funny trivia thing, Wizards of the Coast was one of the magic guilds in the campaign that the founders were playing. So the Wizards of the Coast doesn't actually
kind of wondered where that came
existed. From. Yeah. It sounds a little surfer, too. Could you imagine, like Wizards of the Coast, like shaka? That's their sign. But anyhow, the happy ending is Stephen Michael Sechi retains all trademark and copyright to
Talislanta
from 2010 and has released it all under the Creative Commons license.
Oh, wow.
So all of it is available for free up to, I believe the current version is 5th. There's 5 versions of it. So up to everything that was produced is available for free. So if you're interested in seeing this early system, definitely inspired by early D&D, but with their own, especially because they were very focused on Atlantis and kind of maybe lost worlds.
Talislanta.